A few years ago, I found myself in a cycle of working hard, earning more money, and spending even more than I could keep up with. No matter how much I earned, it seemed like I was always one step behind when it came to managing my finances. I lived paycheck to paycheck, overspending on things that didn't truly matter. It wasn't until I hit a financial low that I realized there had to be a better way. That's when I decided to embrace frugal living. But here's the thing, no one ever told me about the hidden secrets of frugal living, the things that truly make a difference. Everyone talks about saving money and cutting back, but there are deeper layers to it that make all the difference. I'm here to share those hidden gems with you, so you don't have to go through the same trial and error I did. Let's dive in. 1. It's not about deprivation, it's about choosing what truly matters. When I first started my frugal living journey, I thought it meant giving up everything I loved. I imagined myself sitting in a bare apartment, counting every penny, and never having any fun. But as I dove deeper into frugality, I realized it wasn't about deprivation. It was about reprioritizing my spending. I loved eating out. It was my way of relaxing after a stressful week at work. But when I looked at my bank statements, I saw that I was spending far too much on dining out. I started asking myself, what truly brings me joy? The answer wasn't the expensive restaurant meals, it was the time spent with friends and family. I began cooking more at home. I found new recipes, experimented with ingredients, and invited friends over for potlucks. It was cheaper, more fulfilling, and just as fun. Instead of feeling deprived, I felt empowered to make better decisions about what really mattered. Real-life application. Think about what brings you joy, whether it's dining out, buying clothes, or something else. Can you reprioritize it without losing out on the experience? Maybe you could cook a homemade version of your favorite restaurant dish or buy secondhand items that still make you feel good. 2. Frugality isn't about never spending, it's about smart spending. One of the biggest secrets to frugal living is that you don't have to give up everything you love. You just need to be smart about where you spend your money. I learned this the hard way after spending money on items I didn't need just to keep up with the latest trends. But after a few months of being more mindful about my purchases, I began to see the true power of smart spending. For example, instead of buying brand new clothes every season, I started shopping at thrift stores and online secondhand platforms. I still found fashionable items that fit my style, but for a fraction of the price. Instead of grabbing a cup of coffee every morning from a fancy cafe, I bought a good coffee maker and brewed my own coffee at home. Not only did this save me money, but it also saved me time. What I learned was that being frugal isn't about denying yourself the things you enjoy. It's about being strategic and thoughtful with your purchases. Real-life application. Take a look at some of your regular expenses: coffee, eating out, clothing, etc. Can you replace them with smarter, more affordable alternatives? Maybe you could make coffee at home, or buy pre-loved items instead of splurging on brand new ones. 3. Saving money isn't just about cutting back, it's about developing good habits. When I first embraced frugal living, I thought I had to make huge, drastic changes overnight. I started cutting out all small luxuries, lunches out, snacks, online shopping. But soon enough, I felt deprived. The trick I learned was that frugal living isn't about cutting out everything you love, it's about developing good habits that allow you to save consistently without sacrificing joy. A habit that changed everything for me was meal prepping. Sundays became my prep day, where I'd cook all my meals for the week. Not only did I save money on groceries, but I also stopped eating out so much because I always had a healthy meal waiting for me at home. The key to frugal living is creating long-term habits that become part of your routine. They don't feel like a sacrifice but rather a shift in mindset that allows you to spend less and save more. Real-life application. What are some habits you could develop to make your frugal journey easier? Could you start meal prepping, setting aside a portion of your income for savings, or creating a budgeting routine? 4. The power of good enough. One day, while shopping for a new laptop, I was faced with a choice between two models, a high-end one with all the latest features, and a budget-friendly option that had what I needed but wasn't flashy. I almost bought the expensive one. After all, I deserve the best, right? But then I remembered something I had learned about frugality. It's not about having the best, it's about having what works. The good enough approach became a cornerstone of my frugal lifestyle. I realized that often, the difference between the high-end and the budget version wasn't that significant, and the price tag wasn't justified for the extra features I never even use. This approach doesn't just apply to electronics, it can be applied to everything, from clothing to food, home decor, and even vacations. Good enough is often more than sufficient for a comfortable and fulfilling life. Real-life application. Next time you're making a big purchase, ask yourself, do I really need the high-end version, or would a more affordable option work just as well? Embrace the idea that good enough can be just as valuable. 5. Delaying gratification leads to bigger rewards. I remember a time when I wanted to buy a brand new phone. My old one still worked perfectly fine, but the new model had all these shiny features, and I convinced myself I needed it. Instead of making the purchase immediately, I decided to wait for a month and think it over. By the time the month was up, I realized I didn't need the new phone at all. The one I had was still working great, and the money I saved went into my emergency fund. This was a turning point for me. I realized that delaying gratification didn't mean denying myself happiness, it meant securing my future. Frugality is about learning to delay the impulse to buy something in the moment for a bigger reward down the line. Real-life application. Next time you feel the urge to make an impulse buy, give yourself a cooling-off period, say, 30 days. Often the urge will pass, and you'll be able to put that money towards something more meaningful. 6. Frugality is a lifestyle, not a temporary fix. The biggest secret I learned was that frugal living is not just a short-term solution to a financial problem, it's a lifestyle. When I embraced frugality as a permanent shift in how I approached money, it became easier to stick with. I didn't feel like I was sacrificing or going without. I was living more intentionally. Frugal living isn't about depriving yourself of the things you enjoy, but it is about making conscious decisions about where and how you spend. The lifestyle change didn't happen overnight, but it became a natural part of my everyday life. Real-life application. Think of frugal living as a long-term journey. What small, sustainable changes can you make to your spending habits that will last a lifetime? Perhaps you could start tracking your expenses, creating a savings plan, or adopting a minimalist mindset. 7. Find community support for your frugal living journey. I also learned that one of the most powerful things about frugal living is the support of like-minded people. When I started connecting with others who were living frugally, I gained new insights and strategies that I hadn't considered. It became a community effort, where we shared tips, challenges, and successes. There's something motivating about knowing others are on the same journey, whether it's a local group or an online community. Finding a network of people who share your values and goals can provide much-needed encouragement and fresh ideas. Real-life application. Look for online forums, social media groups, or local meetups focused on frugal living. Sharing your journey with others can make it more fun and provide valuable support. 8. The joy of freedom and control. One of the biggest rewards of embracing frugal living is the sense of freedom it brings. When you're not tied down by debt or unnecessary expenses, you can live life on your own terms. You gain control over your finances and your future. Living frugally allowed me to pay off credit card debt, build an emergency fund, and even start saving for my dream home. With every dollar I saved, I felt like I was taking more control over my life. It was no longer about surviving, it was about thriving. Real-life application. As you make more conscious spending decisions, think about how your financial freedom could open up opportunities for you. Maybe it's taking a dream vacation or pursuing a career you're passionate about. Frugal living isn't about giving up what you love, it's about making intentional choices to focus on what truly matters. The secrets to frugal living aren't about deprivation, they're about living more consciously, developing healthy habits, and finding freedom in simplicity. When you start living with intention, you'll realize that you don't need more money to live a fulfilling life. You just need to know how to spend wisely. The journey may be challenging at times, but the rewards are worth it. And the best part? You don't have to do it alone. There's a whole community of people out there who are embracing frugal living and discovering the freedom it brings.